Hello dear friends, how are you? My name is Aritheria and today I'm going to talk about the first rune in the runic alphabet, Fehu. Now before we start, and since this is the first video, I will tell you about how it's going to be. I will talk about all the runes, I will make videos about each rune, and when it comes to an end I will show you some divination methods. And in each video, in each rune, I will talk about the basic meaning of the rune and then the mythology around it, so you can better understand the essence of the rune. And then afterwards I will talk about the meaning of the rune when it comes to divination methods, so you can use that knowledge on those same divination methods. I will talk about its upright meaning and its inverted meaning when it calls for it. And then I will add a bit of information about binding runes, binding that specific rune with others and its effects. And finally, I will tell you about the gods associated with that rune. Now, with no more delay, let's get started. So the name of the rune is Fehu, and it literally means cattle. It is associated with livestock and wealth. And during the last pagan codification of the runes, which took place during the Viking Age, this rune gained another name, Fe, but it was still associated with gold, money, property, wealth in general. And in a more exoteric context, it is associated with new beginnings, and it's also connected with the fire and earth elements. And there is also an association with the feminine gender. And of course, this rune is also associated with power, abundance and sexual energy, and of course the Emingia, which is the personification of happiness, luck and fortune. Now, before I start talking about the meaning of this rune for divination purposes, let's start with the mythology around it, so you can better understand the essence of the rune. According to the ancient Norse tradition, the first cosmic being was a cow named Audumbla, and she was created from the union of ice and fire, the elements which existed before everything else. Coming into existence in an environment barren of nourishment, Audumbla became the very personification of nourishment and the bringer of life. Through its actions, it gave birth to the giant Hymir, who was the creature ancestor to the gods and humans and all the other living creatures, all the races of the Norse cosmology. Every living creature existed because of Audumbla, and she even continued to nurture the gods. Now, this belief in Audumbla being the precursor of life arcs back to an ancient time where a mother goddess was usually personified as an animal totem. So this rune, Fehu, is associated with fire, nourishment and life, the very life that the cosmic fire brought by melting away ice, and was thus instrumental in the creation of all life and the cosmic worlds. This rune is also associated with luck, because nothing is made by chance. Our Norse ancestors believed that luck was a sort of energy, and with this rune it had the capacity to hold luck and use it to our own benefit. This energy is the foundation of wealth and power in our lives, and only through our deeds can we increase luck, which means we mustn't stay idle. Now let's go for the meaning of this rune for divination methods. Every rune can be used to help your physical self or others. You can paint it on an object or draw it, or even making a tattoo of it in a last attempt. But also, every rune can be used in divination, Every rune has a meaning, and some even have an inverted meaning, which is the case. Fehu is obviously an indicator of wealth, prosperity, and pleasure in life. It also represents fulfillment and self-confidence. And when in grief or misery, this rune will bring comfort. Now, as I have told you, and you know it well, this rune is associated with cattle. Because before the introduction of hard currency, cattle herds were the measurement of wealth in many ancient societies. So in divination methods, when this rune appears in the future position, and mind that I'm already talking about divination methods, and there will be a position for the future, the present and the past. So when this rune appears in the future position, the person to whom you are reading the runes, a profitable time lies before that person. However, receiving the gift of Fehu must be taken with humility. The gift of this rune must be worked for, received with thanks and humility, and whatever comes must be looked after with respect. Nothing comes for free. Hard work is needed. Remember, don't be idle. Do the exact opposite. Be active. Seek out your own luck. When this rune appears in the present position, it means that you should look after the possessions that are already in your keeping. You should guard your resources against times of need. Don't be so eager to go out there to seek new possessions if right now you are struggling to keep what is already yours. Nourishment. Take care of your own first. Aside from material concerns, the appearance of Fehu in a rune reading bodes well for fertility, childbirth, and new beginnings. Again, when Fehu appears in a rune reading and you are currently in misery or grief, it will bring motherly comfort, which is one of the most valuable things in the world that money can't possibly buy. Now, this rune also has an inverted meaning, which means that when it appears in a divination method, in a rune reading, upside down, it has a completely different meaning. So let's get to it. Fehu inverted means failure, loss, greed, destruction, discord, and bad luck. The loss of something valuable that could be material, but it can also be the loss of status and friendship and all other social connections, and also a failure in fertility. But all this negativity can be a good thing, something that you can take advantage of. All this negativity can be a blessing in disguise, because you are in need of a temporary retreat to conserve your energies, your resources. The association of Fehu with wealth and prosperity suggests that you might lose something valuable, something material most likely, but it can also be equally related to the loss of a loved one or a friend, but it doesn't necessarily mean death. Since the basic nature of Fehu is nourishment, all your losses will be made up in time, so relax. Although the appearance of the inverted Fehu also indicates problems with conception and fertility. A reversed Fehu sometimes indicates a delay, an obstacle in your life before your true goal is successfully reached. Now let's talk about an important aspect of Fehu, and nothing to do with divination methods now. Binding runes, which is the process of combining different runes into creating a unique symbol of power. When using Fehu with other runes, when adding Fehu to other runes to create a unique symbol of power, Fehu will enhance the power of those runes. Be careful not to add Fehu in its inverted position unless your objective is to reinforce the destructive power of the runes. Even in its upright position, Fehu can be dangerous, because remember that Fehu will enhance the power of the runes, and too much power can be hard to handle, and the symbol you create can be a destructive symbol. Best use it with just one rune. For instance, Horus, which is the rune that comes next in the alphabet. Horus is connected with healing, so combining it with Fehu will enhance that power, that healing power. Now, finally, the gods associated with this rune: Frey, Freya and Nerthos, due to its association to fertility and sexual energy. Frigga, due to its association to nourishment and motherly comfort. And finally, Njord, due to its association with wealth and prosperity. Alright friends, I hope you have enjoyed this video about the first rune in the runic alphabet and the information, the knowledge I have passed down to you. If you have anything else to add about this rune, please write in the comments below, because the runes are such a complex subject and you can say so much about each rune, and what I did here was to summarize the meaning of the rune and tell you what the rune means when it comes in a rune reading in divination methods. Alright, I truly hope you have enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All the links to my social media are down below at the description. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video, and tack för idag!